o'clock with Colleen, and this is a day that we wait for most assuredly. And the best part for me is, you know, we sell so many, celebrating 41 years here. You've been in business. I heard you say this earlier. Yeah, you should see the face.
39 years.
Yes, exactly.
So I started my company in September of 1979.
Wow.
And I don't like to say that because it makes me feel like I must be getting older.
And this is you know, what, you look better every year. Oh, you do. No, he really does. I mean, that is no joke. I mean, yes, I think part of when you love what you do certainly helps, but I mean,
I try my best. I lead an active, healthy lifestyle as much as I work, and I definitely work too much.
Yeah, but
I make sure that I exercise every day. I make sure that I eat healthy and eat well. So I hope that if nothing else, I walk the talk. I think there's a lot of folks in my industry that make no effort to do so in that regard. So it's more than just swallowing supplements. That's why I always love talking about Muriel's cookbooks. And she'll be here next weekend to talk about her cookbooks, because as important as my supplements are, the most important thing we do on a daily basis is eat a healthy diet.
For sure.
When we talk about healthy hair, skin, and nails, it's one of those fascinating examples that biotin just isn't readily available in any diet. So if you're someone who is, if you want your hair, skin, and nails to look their very best, I'd say you're virtually stuck supplementing because the levels of biotin that are found in a typical diet, and I don't think there's any diet, unless you're eating several pounds of liver every day, that you're getting more than 50 micrograms of biotin daily. And that might be sufficient for just general well-being. But who knows if it's really sufficient for general well-being, because it isn't sufficient for the best expression of your hair, skin, and nails. We talked about this before, that biotin plays a role in the expression of a couple of thousand genes. But our biochemistry internally is the same. Our genetics are slightly different in terms of how they express. Our hair is different colors and different thickness and different textures. Our skin is different. So our nails are different. So the way biotin is involved in expressing those genes, that's an opportunity that we all possess that isn't delivered by diet. Unfortunately, I wish it could. I wish, like with our lutein and zeaxanthin, I say that lutein and zeaxanthin, as critical as it is, green leafy vegetables like spinach and kale, and even things like peas and green beans, if you eat abundance of those, you can get levels of lutein and zeaxanthin to support eye health. Again, as a country, we don't tend to do that. But I have nothing to recommend when it comes to biotin. Fortunately, also biotin, when it's delivered in a supplement, when it's delivered the way we do it, virtually 100% bioavailable to your body.
Absolutely. So I guess the bottom line is this: doesn't matter whose shampoo you're using, whether you've got gels, acrylics, men, women, any age, any skin tone, any ethnicity, we can all benefit from this. The science that Andrew follows and supports is unlike any other biotin or healthy hair, skin, and nail product like it in America. Not only that, made in America, made with the energy of the sun. So he gives back to Mother Earth as he's giving back to our bodies and those little factories that never shut down in terms of building better hair, skin, and nails. So remember, this is a one-day only opportunity. The vast majority of these are already spoken for. That's why we're doing an abbreviated airing right now. So because we're still trying to manage so that Andrew and Colleen can have a nice full airing at the end of the day. Choose the 60, the 180, the 360, or the 720. A couple of things you need to be aware of. In addition to the remarkable savings, it's so funny, I almost forget to talk about the price because I get so excited about how well this has worked for me. Sometimes I forget about the value, but you only do that 720 count size when it's a today's special. And this is actually the best value in the 720 you've ever offered, and you're doing a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's really exciting, I think.
The reason why I did that, in reading some reviews on this product, on circulation vein support for healthy legs, that a few of the reviews talked about the fact that they had tried it once, it didn't work, then they tried it again and it did work, because they say instead of one capsule, they took 2 capsules, or they just tried it for a little longer. And I kind of say that this is a product, looking at the science and looking at what biotin and other ingredients we get and issues, marginal deficiencies we have of other nutrients that are available in this product. When you read the science, I look at this product and I think it should work for virtually everyone.
Yeah.
And yes, we're talking about the product that has the lowest return rate of anything I make and anything at HSN. but I wanted to have no return rate. So I think it's simply a question. I wanted to have not 90+% positive reviews, but 99% positive reviews or 100% positive reviews. And I think if we doubled the return period, that increases the likelihood of doing that. And most people, the first thing they think is, uh-oh, if we do that, are we going to get more returns? I know that we're not going to get more returns. In fact, all that we're going to do is get more people who see the opportunity that this product presents. And it truly is an opportunity. I often talk about the burden that our hair, skin, and nails presents to our body, because as we get older, everything gets more challenged. And as we get older, our hair, skin, and nails is the largest system in our body. It's the integumentary system. The largest system in our body becomes a bit of a burden. And that largest system, unlike all the other systems, isn't just there to be maintained and repaired. It's a system that grows every single day. It reconstitutes itself all the time. And that's because that system has to constantly interact with and interface and protect us from the outside world. So we're growing literally another human being of skin over the course of our lifetime. Not another human being's skin, but over 100 pounds of skin over the course of our lifetime. And we're growing, if you had a hair, it would be over 1,000 miles long. If you just grew one strand of hair, that's an enormous amount of manufacturing work. What I say is, yes, that's a burden. That makes our hair, skin, and nails something that, in terms of its appearance, it's challenged to have it look good. It's very difficult to have it look good because it has such extreme demands. And as we get older, everything suffers under the demands, just not of, the passage of time. So with this product, it's not just a challenge. This product is, as I said before, it's that opportunity. It's the one part of our body that we talk about in our career, in our life. We get to reinvent ourselves. And most of us, we don't take that opportunity, or we don't have a need to reinvent ourselves. Most of us, as we get older, when it comes to our hair, skin, and nails, we like that opportunity. And it is the unique system in our body that you actually can take advantage of it, because it's the only system in our body that over a short period of time, it's totally been remanufactured. Virtually all of your skin has been replaced. And we're talking down to the deepest layers in a matter of a couple of months. So, and we all know with our hair that we could shave our head, and in a matter of several months, our hair is going to be fairly long. In a matter of a couple of years, it's like we never did it. The same thing with our nails. We could break off a nail will grow back. So it's an amazing opportunity to do something that we can't do with any other part of our body if we give our body what it needs. And in talking about the science before, it talked about the consequences of extreme biotin deficiency, which is rare, but what it recognized is this concept of marginal biotin deficiency. And at marginal biotin deficiencies, we don't notice, say, the pathology. We don't notice a disease state. What we do notice is a change in our hair, skin, and nails. And that is why there are studies there that when you deliver the levels of biotin I'm delivering here, in people who have what is thought of as perfect biotin status, they notice a difference in their hair, skin, and nails. And those are the people with perfect biotin status. So it's really an opportunity, and I think virtually everyone who would say take 1 or 2 capsules a day for 60 days, you will see that difference.
Oh, absolutely. You read some of those reviews, and Andrew's been doing this product for well over 2 decades, and he only keeps improving it. And I won't say that when he first started doing it, he did it begrudgingly, because that's not the case. But, I think Andrew, because he's a science guy, a former, food and drug lawyer, so he knows his stuff. Yes, he gets excited about the science, but men and women get excited about the fact that he's turning back the look of the hands of time. I mean, what does your hair look like? Did your hair used to be your crowning glory, and now maybe you see more of it in the sink than you see on your head? I mean, is your hair not as thick as it used to be? Is it fine? Is your hair breaking off? Are your nails brittle? I mean, is your skin dry? I mean, we hear all those things, and I have to say, for this to be our #1 beauty product, #1 reorder product, lowest return rate of any product, that doesn't happen unless it's making a big difference for people. It just doesn't.
It's a testament to its efficacy.
For sure.
And as long as and what's funny is you mentioned this before, when I first made this product over 20 years ago,
I know.
I didn't want to speak about it on air.
I do remember.
And we just did a few little airings of it because it wasn't really comfortable for me. I want to talk about omega-3s and heart health. I want to talk about lutein and zeaxanthin and eye health. I want to talk about glucosamine and chondroitin and its structural role in our joints. I didn't want to really talk about a beauty product. It's just not what I thought was important. But this product, with a couple of little airings, it got such a loyal following that it was being reordered all the time. We couldn't keep it in stock. And then we finally, I begrudgingly did a Today Special. And what I realized, and there was one review from a long time ago, and it said that, I know that you don't make products that cure, prevent, or treat a disease, but this product treats the single most profound disease that our society suffers from. And it was sort of an interesting review, and it said that disease, which affects everything, it affects our relationship, it affects the quality of our work, it affects how we move through the world. That disease is low self-esteem.
Oh, yeah, true.
So if this is a product that allows us to, in some fashion, feel a little bit better about ourselves, and we certainly invest as a country billions and billions and billions of dollars on the outside of our body in terms of the quality of our hair, skin, and nails. And this is a product that has absolute, unequivocal, inescapable science on how it affects the creation of those tissues. Because on the outside of our body, they're dead. Our hair, skin, and nails, what the outside world sees of our hair, skin, and nails, they're seeing dead tissues. The only chance we have to affect them is on the inside of our body. When we talked about phytoceramides as far as a moisturizer, the real moisturization of our skin and the retention of moisture takes place on the inside, not on what we put on the outside. The fatty acids that are integrated into our skin to give it radiance, our hair to give it luster, our nails to make them shinier and stronger, those fatty acids have to be delivered on the inside. It all takes place on the inside. The key molecule involved with the integration of the key proteins, of the collagen peptides, the fatty acids, all of those components that get integrated to have the healthiest appearing skin, hair, and nails. That key component is biotin. It takes place on the inside of our body. And I'm comfortable saying that no one delivers biotin in a more effective fashion than we do. And if you read the reviews, they attest to that fact.
They do. And, you know, if you have a moment, take a moment to read some of those reviews. But with a 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee.
Or take a few months to read all of them.
Well, there you go. or there's that.
Because they're lengthy reviews.
Yeah.
I'd say at least there are hundreds of reviews that are hundreds of words long.
For sure.
That the reviews are very well thought out. They're extremely well written.
They are.
Very intelligently written. And you could just scan through the reviews.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't have to, you could organize them by best reviews, by worst reviews. But when you look at those reviews, for every positive review you read, for every negative review you read, you're going to read 20 positive reviews.
Oh, for sure.
And those reviews, what I always say, maybe it sheds a little light on something you'd like to experience. Maybe it's a common experience that you've had or someone you love has had. But the reviews, to me, it breathes life into what I do. And I've certainly made products, and if you've watched me over the years, I've made products that have really badly reviewed. What do? I make them go away until I could fix them, until I can make them better. Next weekend, we'll talk about marine collagen peptides. Started at 2 stars. Because it had a fishy taste, marine fishy taste.
Yeah.
But I changed it, we transformed it. It has no taste whatsoever now. It was a battle to get that 2 average back up over 4. But it's your feedback is the most important thing to me, but it's also the most important thing to someone else out there who's never tried the product. So I encourage you to continue sharing your reviews, making them as eloquent and as passionate as they are. They don't have to be abbreviated. I love reading the long reviews on air here. And I'm sure people at home love reading the long reviews at home when they're contemplating, should I or shouldn't I? It's a lot of money to invest. If you consider it's 2 years because of the level of biotin, this is the lowest price we've ever had for a large size in a Today Special. And it's the largest size we've ever had at that price. We've done a 500 and a 600 and even a 360 at $89.90 in the past. We've never done a 720 at $89.90. We've never done 5,000 micrograms of biotin. We've never done anything like this before in the past. So it's the greatest opportunity to see a difference. We've doubled the period of the money-back guarantee. I just get excited talking about it because it's a great opportunity. And I think if you take this as directed, I'm confident you'll see the benefits. And if you don't, I encourage you to send it back. I don't want you to keep it. You don't have to be nice to me. But if you continue using this product, and beyond the benefits to your hair, skin, and nails, and you could read the reviews, because it functions almost like a mini multivitamin as far as its comprehensive nature, it's the most sophisticated mini multivitamin you'll probably ever take, unless you're taking one of mine, that you'll see health benefits beyond the beauty benefits.
Absolutely. And isn't it just, it's exciting for you to try. And remember, this is a one-day only opportunity. So there's never been a better time, a better chance. The big thing for me, if you do take time to read some of those reviews, is this is non-discriminatory, it's non-denominational. I don't care if it's fine brittle nails or your hair breaking off or you feel like your hair isn't, you know, thick and luxurious like it used to be, or you just don't like the quality of your skin. This does not discriminate. You know, men, women, skin tone, skin aging issue, ethnicity, doesn't matter. And with a 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee, why not at least give this the opportunity to not only help build better, healthy hair, skin, and nails from the inside out, but you're spending good money on your products. And my goodness, you deserve bang for your buck there. So even if it just helps augment whatever cream or serum or shampoo or, you know, whatever you're using right now, that alone should make it worthwhile to try.
And when you think of the cost, this is a product when we originally introduced it was about 50 cents a capsule.
I remember.
And at 50 cents a capsule, it had 500 micrograms, well, 250 micrograms of biotin, had 1/10 as much. This is 10 times more. So that large size is barely over a dime a day. I think it's 12 cents. And I think about this, certainly me, if I'm out running a trail in the mountains and I see a dime on the ground, I'll pick it up.
I will too.
But I think most people will just walk by.
A lot of people don't.
And at say 12 cents a day, even 2 weeks of this product isn't $2. We could spend $2 on a bottle of water, on a soft drink. You could spend on a pack of gum, you could spend a few dollars. So to think about all of the praise we're lavishing on this product, all the science I've talked about and how we follow the science, 10 times higher levels of biotin. And the real biotin is expensive. It's among the most expensive ingredients in any supplement I make. And to think that it's just a little more than a dime, that large bottle, you could try the smaller bottles, they all come with the same 60-day money-back guarantee, but to think of that large bottle, at 1 capsule a day, you could be enjoying the benefits of this product in July of 2020. You could skip next year's Today Special, which I doubt will be at the same price it is here today. So it's an opportunity when you think about it in those terms at 12 cents a day. What is that? It's not even $4 a month. And the additional benefits you get in terms of the comprehensive nutritional nature of this product, not just the beauty benefits, but the benefits in terms of all the nutrients you're delivering to your body, which unless you're taking vitamins that I make, you won't have a product that delivers nutrients the way this beauty vitamin delivers nutrients. So as affordable as it is, I think one of the biggest obstacles I have to overcome is people dismiss it. It's not going to work. Why bother even picking up the phone or going online? It's not going to make a difference. But as Shannon was saying before, you could read the reviews, whether it's thinning hair, dry hair, brittle hair, that hair that's cracking off prematurely, breaking off prematurely, or the same thing with nails, nails that have never grown out, nails that have cracks, toenails that are not growing properly, eyelashes that are not growing properly, whatever it might be. You either grin and bear it and get frustrated by that in life or think there's nothing you could do. But I'm someone who's I've always been in life an incurable optimist. I'm always someone who, even in people, I tend to find their best qualities, even when it might require some serious investigation, that it's an opportunity. And certainly it's easy to become cynical and skeptical in life. Certainly nowadays, you know, our things are sometimes frustrating. And for whatever reason, whatever our political view, whatever our opinions might be, things can be frustrating. This is basic biochemistry that we all share in common. So it's an opportunity to make a difference in something that I think for most of us is important. It's not superficial to think that if your hair, skin, or nails looked better, that you'd feel a little better about those things, that maybe you could invest less in other treatments, because this is, as an artist, this is the canvas you start with. So the canvas you start with is what you manufacture inside of your body. You can't change what goes on inside your body from the outside of your body. You only change it from the inside. And this is the foundational, fundamental opportunity to do so. So whatever the characteristic might be, whatever might have changed over the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 50 years with your hair, skin, and nails, you're never too old to see a benefit. In fact, the older you are, the easier it is to see a benefit with this product. And you now have 60 days. And I guarantee you send it back. And if you send it back, it's my loss, but I really think that you have nothing to lose, and it's a product that when you read the reviews, you have a sense of just how little there is at risk here.
Oh, absolutely, and certainly no better time and no better day than the present. So, of course, just choose your size of choice. Andrew, we'll be back at 9 o'clock with Colleen with the final quantities, and when I say final quantities, the vast majority of what we have available has already been spoken for. If that helps you to make your buying determination now, I would definitely like to recommend that, especially if you're like more than 2/3 of our shoppers and going for that 720 count size. And remember again, Andrew only does that 720 when it's a today's special, and it does not appear likely that you'll see this kind of price adjustment next year, even though we wait for it, because normally we do that 720 in the neighborhood of that $99 price. So it's really kind of like buy one, get one when you look at the savings.
Even then, when you look at original today's specials on this product, they were in this price range, but it was a 360 count. So it's really one of the examples, and I'd say with the majority of my products, the only thing that's happened in the decades that I've been making them is we've been able to drive the cost down.
Yes.
CoQ10, if you look at my CoQ10 product, it's 10% the price per milligram today as it was over 20 years ago, or say over 30 years ago. And the cost of money today, I mean, usually things have gone up dramatically just due to inflation. So this is an example of one of those products that all we've done is followed the science and improved and increased its potency tenfold, 10 times. Yet, despite having 10 times more of the key nutrient you seek, it's a fraction of the price that it was when we originally introduced it in the first place. The science has only gotten better. The science has only gotten stronger.
Yes.
And unlike other products that I could talk about and say what we could do to get the healthy nutrients, when I talk about the health of our hair, skin, and nails, it's another opportunity to kind of talk about changes in diet. I think one of the greatest disservices our country did for us is when it was the U.S. Department of Agriculture and others talked about our eating a high carb diet. And it was the beginning of the end in terms of America's battle with obesity and overweight. That what I recommend is a healthy fat diet, a diet rich in nuts and seeds. And certainly we always have to pay attention to the energy we consume, the calories we consume. But healthy nuts and seeds are great for the health of our skin. Things like avocado, great for the health of our skin. Cold water fish, great for the health of our skin, whether we're talking about things like tuna or mackerel or salmon, things like that. And of course, I hear the questions about mercury levels and all of that, but a healthy diet does support the beauty of our hair, skin, and nails. However, the integration of those healthy components from our diet require what? It requires biotin. That's the key scientifically accepted and proven nutrient in terms of that role. And if you look at the chart behind me, these are the best sources of biotin in our diet. And I hate to feel like a broken record, but I generally, when I talk about omega-3s, when I talk about our eye product, I talk about the great dietary sources. The best sources for biotin in our diet are beef liver and chicken liver to start with. And you're consuming thousands of calories a day.
Unbelievable.
Mushrooms would be over almost 14,000 calories a day to equal this. So that is why the typical American is getting less than 1% of the levels of biotin in this product. It might be enough to avoid basic, biotin deficiency, but what I refer to as these marginal deficiencies of biotin, which I believe are virtually universal. And those are the marginal deficiencies of biotin that express themselves through our hair, skin, and nails. And certainly our hair, skin, and nails won't affect our life and our health it doesn't pose a risk in that regard, but it does affect, as that the letter I got years ago was because it was before reviews online, and that letter talked about that other disease or malady that affects us, and that's sort of low self-esteem. We all want to have reasons to feel better about ourselves. We all want to go through our days and feel like we contribute and deliver value, and feel like people look at us and think highly of us. Or we want to look in the mirror and think good about ourselves. And this is a simple, basic supplement that delivers the biochemical tools to drive very sophisticated machinery inside our cells. It's something we all share. Our cells express it differently in each person, but all of us share that same biochemical machinery. It's a busy, busy factory that's manufacturing enormous amounts of very complex tissues that will look good or not so good depending upon how well we attend to that machinery.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing worse than whether it's your genetic code or poor diet or stress or what have you, lack of sleep. More often than not, when we're going through a stressful situation, sadly, we see those repercussions in our hair, in our skin, in our nails. And, you know, if you are going, of course, show it to your doctor if you are going through something particular. But I think of some of the challenges that I have a couple of girlfriends who are going through. Again, not a cure or treatment for anything. However, that's been part of, you know, the sadness.
And that's one of the first questions.
Yeah.
If you're going for, say, a general exam, a doctor will ask, your doctor will look at your hands, look at your nails, look at your toenails. These are things because, I said this before, look at tree rings. I hate to compare us to trees, but it's, if you look at tree rings, scientists can go back and tell us a rough sense of climate 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 years ago by looking at tree rings, because they grow based upon what's going on in the environment at that time. The environment we provide inside our body, that's how our hair, skin, and nails grow. So it's giving a doctor a sense of our nutritional status. It's also giving a doctor a sense of our health status. So, you know, any disease states in our body, any medicines we're taking, they have an impact on our hair, skin, and nails. And certainly our hair, skin, and nails don't treat those diseases. They shouldn't have any impact on the medicines. You could show it to your doctor, because these are just nutritional components. But to the extent our hair, skin, and nails are this window on the world inside us, and unfortunately, that window is not a pretty view most of the time in terms of delivering what our body needs to create those tissues. And I hate to be I'm generally an incurable optimist, but at the same time, I'm a realist. And the reality is that we are not getting the key nutrient and nutrients required for our body to express our skin, hair, and nails in an optimal fashion. We are not giving our body what our genes require to express themselves as well as possible. And that's what this product is all about, giving and providing that opportunity, because sure, it's a burden. It's the biggest system in our body. Not only does it have to maintain itself, but it never stops growing. That's a huge burden. Or I take it as an opportunity to transform things, because you can only transform something that's constantly growing and replacing itself. And that's the very definition of our hair, skin, and nails.
Well, and you can really only affect change when you think about it from the inside out. I mean, we do a beauty report every week. I love that show. I watch it every week, but those are all products kind of after the fact. And even if you just use this to really kind of get your beauty bang for your buck, the one thing I want to point out, and actually Andrew kind of led me there, is if you watch Andrew's shows, and he's a font of information, we all learn things, but if you read some of the reviews and people say, oh, I tried biotin, you know, et cetera, it didn't work for me, you have to make sure that it's made in the way to liberate those benefits. Otherwise, you're wasting your money. So yes, you might have information, but you could still have the wrong product unless you're getting this.
And there's hundreds of reviews that do that specific comparison for you, that say, I tried a high biotin multivitamin, I tried a high biotin supplement, I tried 5,000, 10,000 micrograms of biotin on its own, it didn't work. But as the science I talked about earlier says, biotin is the key, it's the weakest link in the chain, and a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. But the moment you fix biotin, then those other weaker links might come into play. So we make sure that we leave no stone unturned, and we give you all of the comprehensive tools necessary to make sure biotin does its thing. They're also, if we look at the 5,000 reviews at hsn.com, over 4,000 of them are 5-star reviews. But just using the word love.
Yeah.
The word love appears in 1,773 reviews.
Oh, wow.
So 1 in 3 reviews uses the word love in talking about this supplement. What is it? 1,100 reviews talk about either their hair or nails being stronger. Over 900 talk about their hair or nails growing better or faster. It's just remarkable that over 800 reviews just use the expression the product works. Over almost 600 said it's a great product. So when you see the universality of the impression here, and what I also was going to say, and I often ask this question, when we talk about how much is in there, people assume, uh-oh, another one of those